We are the Mortons, and we met at school, which is work. I started teaching fourth grade, and she was right next door as another fourth grade teammate.
You're welcome. We've been married for 5 years in March of this year.
One of the biggest blessings of being married to Nicole and having met her is she kind of softened my rough edges and calms me down a lot. I'm super all over the place mentally and sometimes emotionally, and she kind of keeps me at a steady pace and has definitely softened my blow over the past few years.
You bring a lot of companionship, friendship. You have a lot of energy. You keep me super occupied all the time. I never get bored.
That's good. The biggest hardship in our marriage has hands down been trying to start a family. We started years and years ago. We got pregnant naturally and ended up losing that pregnancy. We tried countless times after that and ended up having to go into the world of IVF and had a few temporary successes over a few years and lost them, but now we are expecting in 2 months from now. And I will say the biggest thing with that has been not necessarily depending on each other, but depending on our faith and looking up and knowing that the blessing will by far outweigh the trial and that the trial is worth it. We're closer now as a couple and we'll be closer as parents having gone through that than we would have been if it just happened with ease.
By going through this trial, we're definitely closer, and I think we appreciate each other more. There's more respect for each other. I think there's more patience for each other. Definitely a deeper love, a deeper understanding of each other.
I feel like our love has kind of been redefined through this trial and hardship. The word has a very different meaning. When I tell her I love you, I mean it in a different way now.
There are so many things that excite me about becoming a mother. I think the biggest thing is knowing the struggle and the trials that we've gone through. My faith has become so much stronger, and being able to pour that faith and love for God into our son is more than I can explain in words.
What I'm most excited about when it comes to being a father is sharing it with Nicole, seeing Nicole in my son's eyes, and also like dumping and pouring the wisdom that we've gained through trying to get him and meet him, and just being able to back it up with real evidence. As I said before, I think we're gonna love him not more, but we're gonna love him in a different way than we would have if it had just happened without like a real grind to meet him. So I'm excited to see the wonderful parts of Nicole's personality and the annoying parts of mine. I'm excited to see how she deals with his personality that might replicate my immature sides, and I'm hoping that our son has her calmness and reservations in social situations that I might not have.
One piece of advice for new couples, anyone thinking about getting married, um, really appreciate each other and take time for each other. Um, One thing that we do often, it's not on a specific day of the week, but we go on dates all the time. And I still call him my boyfriend, even though he's my husband. Like, we still have that mentality for each other because it's still fun and exciting. And yeah, I mean, take time for each other and have fun. And don't be too serious.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like I've graduated to becoming her man friend and have left boyfriend behind. But I would say the most important thing as a man in a relationship is to always put her needs and wants ahead of your own. Anytime I have an idea or a thought, I ask myself, would Nicole enjoy this? Would she not enjoy this? Why or why not? How could I make this better for her? Because watching her glow makes me like super giddy. Um, so that's like the happy stuff. As far as like avoiding negativity, I would say never ever speak through emotion. Um, because it's not all rainbows and butterflies. And in the heat of conversations or arguments, as soon as you say something that you know you didn't mean and the whole point was to hurt them, that's when you've crossed the line. And it's important to not get to that line. So as soon as you're getting like super emotional, I step back and we end up talking like 10 minutes later. And that has been, I think, the best tool for communication ever. Because then we come back rationally and we can speak through love again, as opposed to heated anger or frustration. And I will say, I don't even know the last time we were upset with each other, but it's very far and few between now, ever since we started doing that.
I would say another piece of advice is to pray together because it helps keep you as a couple in line, and you both have the same desires of the heart, but I think when you pray together, it's much more powerful and it brings you closer together to God.
And specific prayers. And don't just have one person be the one who prays. I'm not the only one who prays in our house whenever we're praying together. We go back and forth. And I think that is extremely important because things that are closest to our hearts come out through prayer. And sometimes I raise her eyebrows with what I'm praying for and vice versa. And then it's like, oh, well, then in my own alone time, I'll be praying for Nicole for what she prayed for out loud as a couple, but before we had dinner or whatever. Right? Good stuff.